Hello and welcome to the Fearless Knitter podcast. My name is Courtney and you can also find me as Stitches Please on Ravelry, Plurk, and Instagram. And today is July 8th, I almost said 18th, July 8th, 2013, and this is episode 31. So thank you for joining me today. Um, I did not take my weekly a pregnancy picture like I did the last couple weeks. I'm gonna take it tomorrow. Today I just don't feel like it, and plus I don't think I should look too different than I did last week. Um, I'm in week 14, in case you're wondering. I have a doctor appointment tomorrow. Yay! Nothing. I don't think they do an ultrasound. No, my doctor appointment's way too late for an ultrasound. So, just probing and measuring and samples and yeah, fun stuff. Anyways, that's not what you're here for. Before we get started, I want to talk about the knit along I'm hosting from August till September. It's anything that's from the designers Tin Can Knits. So, any of their books, any of their freestanding patterns, anything that they designed, you can find them on Ravelry, and I'll link in the show notes. Yes, I did that last week. I'm pretty sure I'll do it this week. Um, I'm thinking about knitting the antler cardigan. I thought just the baby size. I might actually try and knit my size. I don't know if I can do it in 2 months. I don't know. Um, I'm not that experienced with knitting sweaters. I've knitted one sweater that took me over a year, and then my second sweater, they all been cardigans. Well, I've knitted a tank top and a t-shirt, but tank top I knitted for Camp Loopy, so I know I knitted that pretty quick because Camp Loopy is like a month. But it was a tank top, no sleeves, and it's pretty short. And then my t-shirt didn't take me all that long either. But then my second cardigan, it was a knit along, so I had to follow certain. I mean, I didn't have to, but it was that kind of knit along where in week 1 through 3 you knit this part. It wasn't a mystery knit along, like we had the pattern, so I could have moved along, but it was funner that way because then in this week you knit the sleeve, and so I had to stop. Um, so I don't remember how long that was. That was a few months, not a few months, a couple months, and that's it. So I don't know if I can really knit an antler cardigan in 2 months for adult size, but I'm thinking about it, so I don't know. If it looks like I'm looking weird, the camera is over there and I can see myself over kind of to the side, so I'm sorry if it doesn't look like I'm looking at you. Um, I still have to look at myself and I can't focus looking at the camera like I do now. It freaks me out. And I've been having show notes on, yeah, you don't care about all that stuff. Anyways, so I'm thinking about antler. I have decided that I will knit my way through Handmade in the UK, the book that I just bought. It's going to take me forever. But I haven't decided if I want to just knit what I want to knit first, or if I'm going to start with project 1 and work my way through that way. I haven't decided. I'm thinking of project 1 and work my way through, but the first one is socks. Um, Unless I finish my honeymoon socks in the next month, which they take me forever because I have no desire knitting on them, then I'm not casting on another pair of socks. So I don't know if that's gonna be my knit along project. I'm not sure, but there is a chat thread. Nobody really has posted on it, which you have plenty of time to even decide if you want to join. So don't rush. Alright, let's get started. I have a finished object that you have not seen. Again, baby stuff. Ooh, it goes so fast. I knit this in one day. It's the Aviatrix Baby Hat by Justine Turner, and I knit it out of Plymouth TK, Dream Decay. I didn't have the label anymore, but this yarn, I knitted so many things with this, so many baby things. I knitted a striped baby hat, striped baby mitts, and striped baby boots for my nephew. And now I knitted baby booties for my baby and the baby hat to go with it. And it has little earmuffs because my baby's due in January. And then I have not sewn on the button. I don't have a button yet. I haven't decided if, I think a little ducky, but I haven't even looked. So it's really cute. Lots of show it rows, and I think I did a pretty decent job. I haven't blocked those, so you can actually see the little bumps. That's where I pick up my wraps. But I think it's pretty good. And then you pick up, which I was so confused about the pickup. The way I did it, like I did it as I read it, which doesn't mean I did it as the designer wants me to. I've noticed I read things differently than other people. It's really weird. Like I will read something, and then my husband will look over it, and he'll read it out loud, and I hear it differently than what I read. So it's like weird. I read it 10 times. Anyway, so the way I read it and did it, this where I pick up, you know, the ridge was on the right side. And I did it like 10 times. So finally I did it differently. But then, because the first row was the right side, but I was on my wrong side, so I had to just knit a row to get back. It's a free pattern, by the way. So I think I did a pretty decent job picking up. There's a center stitch that is supposed to line up with this ridge. It is not. Mine lines up with this ridge, 1 over. And this one lines up with this 1 over too. But once a baby wears this, I mean, really, I can kind of tell. But you have to look. It's a baby. Unless my baby's gonna like immediately be like, Mom, center stitch is not matching. I have a genius. Since this is for newborn. So yes, this is the newborn size, and it comes in all, I mean, you can knit it from sport, DK, worsted. I think those are the 3 yarn options, and in all different sizes. I think it goes all the way up to adult, and for a free pattern, that's pretty damn good. So I did DK, and I did it on size US 6 4mm needles. So pretty happy with it. Comes with a little chin strap that I'll button, but I have to get the button. Alright, that's the only finished object. I have lots of knitting, by the way. I don't know where I got the time. First up, I frocked something. If you remember, I was knitting the Friday slippers. You saw them last week the first time by Kristen Tindyke. I knitted it out of, or tried knitting it out of Lion Brand, USA, Homemade USA. The USA one, it's the chunky, bulky, and the cod. Oh god, it's, hold on, I gotta move my show notes over. Lion Brand Hometown USA in the Cape Cod tweed on size US 13 9mm needles. I just scroll my show notes. Okay, so you do the bottom of the foot on US 13s, and then you go to US 9. I think it's super bulky yarn. Or bulky, I don't have it here anymore. It is thick yarn. I think it's super bulky. Okay. One, I think the foot was 1 to 2 inches too big. You don't felt them. It seemed too big. Like every time I lay it against my foot, it looked way too big. If I knit it too small, I don't have no problem with it because my mom has a slightly smaller foot than me and my sister has a way smaller foot than me. But other than that, I'm the one with the biggest female foot in the family. Like, it's just my mom and my sister that I can give stuff to, really. And they would wear them, but if they're too big on me, they're ginormous on them. So that was my first issue. And then the second issue, which, are my lips still? Yeah. For some reason it looked like my sound was off. The 9s and the super bulky, holy cow, that was hurting my wrist so bad. I don't have problems with, like, I'm still young, I think. So I don't usually have problems. I can't crochet too long like I can with knitting. I can knit pretty damn long. Crocheting, not really. It bothers my that motion. It's not so much emotion actually. It's more the one-way attention my yarn. But holy moly, size 9s and super bulky was killing my wrists. And so I wasn't having fun knitting them because the way you were knitting them in the round was not fun. And then they possibly were too big. So it was really not, I was not that far on the first one. I was like, okay, I hate knitting on it. I knit one round and I'm like, oh, I can't knit anymore. It's not fun. So yeah, they're fraught. Next, I casted on the second of my Hermione's Everyday Socks, aka my honeymoon socks, by Erica Luder, out of Blue Moon Socks That Rocks Lightweight in the Azure Malachite color, on US 1 2.25mm needles. You've seen the first one. I can't really see what I'm showing you because half my window is covered up. Here you go. Here's the texture, pearl bumps. I really could go for a water, but I don't think I have one. Alright, here's the second one. Woohoo! I'm still on the ribbing. I casted it on at my spinning guild meeting. I did on something else and then I got to a point where I had to stop, so it's on my higher sharps, my absolute favorite needles, and once I have a little bit of spare cash, I will buy the set. Love higher. Best needles ever, for my opinion. That's totally my opinion. You might hate them, so it's all personal opinion. Alrighty, then I could kind of do it to a dilemma, but with my whips, I realized something. I really have only 2 whips right now. Let me show you this one and then I'll go into that. This is My Hope by Laura Linneman that I'm knitting out of Creatively Dyed Yarns. I bought that at a local-ish fall fiber festival. I don't remember what it's called. It's not the Shenandoah. Montpelier Fall Fiber Festival. And it's the Lita colorway. I think it's the Queen Calypso base. And it's on size US 5 3.75mm needles. Well, right now it's on no needles. But I got pretty damn, well, I got really far. I did a lot is what I'm trying to say. You see where the marker is? I did all that in a week. And yep, it's on stoppers right now. And it's on stoppers right now because I'm ready to bind off. Except I have no beads. So for this weekend, I'm going to Joann's and look for some beads for this. And then I will bind off this weekend. So, guess what you might see finished on Monday. Depending on how long the bind off is going to take me. I've never knitted with beads. So needless to say, I've never done a beaded bind off. So, now to my dilemma. I only have 2 things I can, no. One more whip. Sorry. One more whip, and then I will talk about my whip dilemma. Yes, I pretty much knitted all my whips this week. You have not seen this in forever, and this has been on the needles for a year now. I casted it on June last year. It's the Dahlia cardigan by Heather So Petty. Also on US 5 3.75mm needles. You see where the My Hope needles went? And this is knit on Cascade 220 Superwash Sport in the daffodil color. And if you remember, this is like the most interesting construction sweater that I've ever seen. But you see where that orange stitch marker is? I remember to place one. This is all I did in a week. Granted, the rows are not that long. So right now I'm knitting side to side pretty much. Here's the back lace panel. Sorry, I'm trying to see what I'm showing you. And I think in that it's for my sister. And my sister's favorite color is yellow. And I think this is such a pretty yellow because it's like this mustardy, it's a daffodil color. But it's not like bam in your face. And with yellow you get that a lot. Very bam. And this one is more muted. And I think in this yellow, the back, it looks like a sunflower. It's so pretty. So this is the back. This pink stripe is an afterthought armhole. And this is the side. This. From the needle to the pink stripe is the front side. This is the bottom of it. Then this is the neck that flips over the neck collar. It all has a seed stitch border that I messed up in the collar, but I figured her hair covers it. Then once I get to a certain point, you do a seed stitch border. So I'm getting there. I'm really enjoying it right now. I've been watching a lot of Lost. I'm on season 3, halfway through season 3, and I started season 3 this weekend. I was watching like a mad person, and I just knitted and knitted. Either spun or knitted. Alright, now I can tell you about my whip dilemma. Alright, so, my whips. I have the Twinkle Twinkle blanket. Baby blanket. I'm waiting to find out what my little booger is, because if it's a female, it's gonna be probably pink or purple border. Probably pink because I think gray and pink is such a pretty combination. And if it's a boy, I don't know if I'm gonna go with just regular blue because I don't know. I mean, everything goes with gray. Any color goes with gray. But blue's so stereotypical, so is pink. But I don't know yet. I'll see what I can find. But so Twinkle Twinkle is on hold to find out what the sex of my baby is, what a gender, however we want to call it. So I'm looking down at my whip basket. The second, sorry I'm saying and but a lot, but that's how I talk. What is the other whip? The baby vest for my nephew. I've been waiting to buy yarn. The reason why it's taken me so long to go to the yarn store is it's kind of out of my way, and budget was a little on the tight spot. So this week I'm hoping to get down there and see if they have it. I don't even know if they have it. If they don't, I'm going to order it online. But I figured I look there first because I can take the vest and try and match it. It's Barocco vintage. Even if I get a different dye lot, it should work. Plus, the front and the back are done, so it's just the ribbing and the seaming. So if that's slightly off, it's not going to look bad. People even told me to use a contrasting color, but I couldn't find anything in my stash, so I figured I had to go buy yarn anyways. So maybe while I'm there and I see something. But the only two colors I had were white and black, and that would clash. So, besides that, my only whips are my socks and my dahlia. That's it. That's the only two things I can knit on because the other two are on hold. I swear I had something else. I don't, sorry, I'm gonna click to my Ravelry right now. I've never done this before. I'm really sorry. I'm just curious what else I have. Oh, the My Hope. Duh! I forgot. Sorry, you can hear the clicking. The My Hope is on hold till I can bind it off. So 3 projects on hold and only 2 that I can knit on. Socks, I have no motivation, desire to knit on. And so I spent all the dahlia right now. And I didn't even tell you, that's not all I did in 1 week, that big block. I did that all yesterday. I didn't even say that part, because Saturday is when I finished the My Hope, because I've been wanting to pick up the dahlia for a while, and I was like, no, my 5s are on My Hope. Once I finish, like, the My Hope, we'll get to the bind off, and then have to wait. I can take the needles off. And I got to it at the spinning meeting, and then I switched to the socks. So, yay. Alright, on to spinning. I finished in 7 days, people. I finished the Into the World September 2012 Classic Club Superwash BFL in the Aurora Borealis colorway. This was my first attempt at Navajo ply. It is, holy guacamole, is that sucker overspun. It's over spun, over plied, over everything. It is so, like, it's this big when I took it off the wheel. It curled like up. I already soaked it and whacked, whatever you want to call it, the heck out of it. And it's now, I can see how much I'm showing you. It's this big. It's pretty bad still. So I'm gonna have to, it's still kind of damp. I'm gonna have to wash and those. I cannot talk. Soak it again, because it's pretty bad. But here you can see the colors. It is really dark purple, teal, and green. Teal is my favorite color. Dark purple, not purple, dark purple, almost into black. It's my husband's favorite color. I'm gonna undo this. Sorry about all the clicking today. It's not doing the twisty thing anymore. It like twisted onto itself like a billion times. But holy cow! So if you've ever done a Navajo ply, I treadle fast. I know I'm supposed to slow down, slow. I can't help it. I would be slow for a minute and then I'd go and treadle fast again. And I watch stuff. I cannot spin and not watch TV or a movie. I have to watch something. And would treadle really slow. I would tell myself, slow down. And you know, I have to slow down my hands. My hands and my feet have to be the same speed kind of thing. It's kind of like, can you pat your head and rub your belly at the same time? No, I can't. It has to be the same speed. So my hands, I would slow down my hand motion so my foot would slow down. And then watching for half an hour, I notice I'm fast again. So I'll be like, no, slow down. And I kept doing that over and over. So for anybody that's a fast traveler, one, is washing and thwacking it again gonna help? I guess I could weigh down, but actually when I hang it in my shower, I have to hang it, I can't hang it like this, my cats will get to it. My cats have access to, okay, one of my showers we use on a daily basis, and the other shower the cats have access to. So if I hang it like this, I'm gonna have a boogie dangling off the yard. So I have to do this to hang it. But I want to do another Navajo ply. Of course, I want to do another Navajo ply. I love doing it, like the actual motion. But do you have any tips of, is this normal? There you go. Is this normal? Or I know this must be an extreme because I see Knittable's yarn. One, nobody spins like Knittable's that I know of. There probably is. But Diane from the Knittable's podcast, I wish I could spin even close, just a little close, the way she spins. But anyway, experts, please, I want to knit with this. I did get, I'm just eyeballing here. I would say this is a fingering weight, don't you think? Okay, this is 2 strands. Hold on. A fingering to a sport. Here's a sport. Oh yeah, it's definitely more sport to a decay and some even worse spots. Anyway, I got 190 yards, which Navajo is a 3-ply, so I knew my yardage was going to be shorter, less than it's. This is just a string that's hanging off. So yeah, it smells like soap. Oh, it smells so good. smells like silk and a little bit of sheep. Um, which I always think, like I have Soak Celebration, which is like the bomb diggity of soak. Which it's the only scented soak I've ever had. I don't know how I can say it's the bomb diggity. Don't you think you have to at least try more than one to say it's the best kind? Anyway, Boogie's looking in the shower because he knows my yarn was hanging in there. And right now I can see him. He's looking up to the shower head. He's meowed the heck out of it yesterday. But okay, anyways, back to soak. I always think my yarn or something didn't smell, like my fiber didn't smell sheepy. And then after I wash it with soak, I smell the soak, but all of a sudden it's like, it brought out some of the sheepy smell, which I kind of like. I'm rambly. I'm sorry. My husband isn't here, and usually he's been in the room with me, so I'm all like proper and quiet, so he can't really hear me because he has his headphones on. He plays his video game, and I tell him to put the headphones on, so they're sound canceling headphones. And yeah, I am sorry. Pregnant hormones. Get me talking. Alright, talked about spinning. I totally forgot to bring the next fiber out I'm going to spin, and actually I'm not 100% decided. I wanted to spin things that I haven't spun before. I'm leaning so towards this English Shetland. I've spun English Shetland before, and I was kind of trying to say, well, I spun the BFL, the superwash BFL that I've never spun before, and did a Navajo ply I've never done before. Shouldn't I get a pass on spinning an English Shetland Navajo ply? I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I get a break? I'm really leaning towards it. I think it's the Starry Night one. I don't even know. I just really wanted to spin the English Shetland. I liked spinning English Shetland. Is English Shetland good for Navajo plow? I have to look that up. Either that or Merino. Never spun Merino before. I've spun superwash Merino, but not Merino. But if I'm spinning the Merino, I think I'm gonna have to do a regular 2-ply or a fractal spin because I spin Merino thick. I only spun the superwash Merino once, but it's slicker, and I know Merino's still gonna be slicker. And the BFL spun like butter. Oh, the superwash BFL. I like spinning BFL. Spinning superwash BFL, it was such a dream. I loved spinning it, and I loved plying it. I didn't like it when it came off the bobbin. I let it rest. If you guys think that's the problem, I let it rest. So that can't be the problem. I don't know what the problem is. Probably treadling too fast. Having tension too low. Oh, I don't know what the problem is. Rambly. I have enabling, and I didn't buy either one of them. And I didn't ask my two friends if I could mention them, but I'm going to because I know them, and I don't think they'll mind. I mention them all the time anyways, right? One I had last week in my Prego brain. I put it in my, I have a podcast bin, and like, you need to talk about this in your podcast this week bin, and then I have a go in my stash bin. I didn't take a picture of it to put on my Ravelry stash. I didn't put it on my stash in Ravelry. I just stuck it right in the stash. Like, I came home, the cats, it's very bright, and the cats were like, Googling it, like, not Googling, Oogling it. They were like, ooh, what did you bring us home? And then it didn't help that I playfully smacked Boogie on the head with it. So then he was like, oh, you brought me a toy. So I was like, oh, I need to hide this, so I stuck it right in my stash. That's my theory, but I probably just forgot. Anyway, both my friends, I have two really good knitting friends. They both had the privilege of going to the Zombie Knit Apocalypse. I couldn't go because, it was 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks after my honeymoon. I think it was 3 weeks after my wedding and 2 weeks after my honeymoon. So how do you explain to your husband and to your work that you gotta take time off again, fly to Minnesota for a knit apocalypse? That wasn't working. Alright, but my friends made it look like I went. So, Leslie, also known as Pixie Knits from the Knitting Game and Other Stuff podcast that you should be watching. It's very interactive and fun. Brought me this ice squeed at Barnes & Noble. I was like, oh! And at first I didn't realize that she said it was mine. I was like, oh, that's pretty. And then she said something. I was like, wait, it's mine? Are you sure this is my precious? I have no idea what I'm gonna knit with it, but shabam, is that green. That is, I don't think it comes over nearly as green. It is neon green. It is 716X knit. I've never heard of. I think that is the area code for Buffalo, New York. I have family in Buffalo, New York, and she is from Buffalo, New York. But the website is 716, I don't think that it's called 716X. 716 knit. 716knit.bigcartel.com. I need to get a camera that focuses on stuff. I realized my camera has no focus, and when I was a new podcaster, I didn't know that that's something you need. Back to what I was saying. It's on the 716 sock base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's about 400 yards. It is 400 yards. It has a weird symbol in front of the 400 yards, so I don't know if that means it's roughly. The color is called If the Apocalypse Comes, Beat Me. And if you're as much as a geek as I am, that is a Buffy quote. As far as I know, all her stuff is Buffy quotes. If I remember right, I even remember the episode. Huge Buffy freak here. I'm pretty sure it's season 1. In very early season 1. Where she doesn't want to be a vampire slayer. So I think Giles tells her, you can't run away, blah blah. And I think she says, if the apocalypse comes, beat me. I think. I'm not 100%, but I think. If I remember right. But isn't it pretty? It's splatter dyed down here. I really opened up the skein. I just realized it's like, it was covered up by the green. It's so pretty. It's not going to be socks. It's going to be something crazy. But I don't know what yet. Anyway, enough rambling about that. And then my friend Pam, who's Miss Purple, got me this bag. It's a Doctor Who bag. I love me some Doctor Who. If you can't tell, it was my Carter's bag. But that guy, other way, the guy that kind of looks like Harry Potter, it's David Tennant. He's my favorite. And then, right there, the guy with the bow tie, because bow ties are cool. He's Matt Smith. He's the one that's right now Doctor Who. I'm behind a whole season on Doctor Who because I don't get the channel and it's not on Netflix yet. But I love it. Unfortunately, I don't know who made this. So if you're maybe the maker of this bag, which I don't know why you would be watching my podcast, or you know who makes these and was at the Zombie Knit Apocalypse retreat, I don't know. There's no. I took this whole bag out, inside out. And this is a really good bag. It has like no seams. They're all, cute polka dot thing. Awesome drawstring. It's huge. It fit like my hope is no issues, and I can put some other stuff in. And actually, my sweater is gonna go in here. But it has absolutely no label. So I don't know who made this. And it has no button. So because I know the only bag person I knew was gonna be there was Girl Cave Bag. So I know it's one of hers. Plus I think she does zippers. I don't know. I don't have one from her. Alright, that was my enabling. It's really nice when you can't afford buying your own stuff. Your friends buy your stuff. I like that. Alright, that's pretty much it for knitting stuff. On to weird, random stuff. Netflix, I watched The Identity Thief with the new funny lady. I don't know her name. She plays in The Heat with Sandra Bullock right now, and she played a small, tiny role in Life as We Know It with Katherine Heigl and Josh Duhamel. It's a cute movie. She's played a small role in there, but right now she's kind of getting bigger, it looks like. And Jason Bateman, he played in Horrible Bosses, which is one of my favorite movies, so we knew we had to watch this one, and it's pretty funny. If you get offended easy, I don't know how to say it. It has some offensive material in it. Let's just say it that way. It's about a guy who's, you know, your average Joe type of person, and he gets his identity stolen, so then the cops really can't do anything, so he goes out and tries to get her himself back to Colorado. She's in Florida. And it's really interesting. It's pretty funny. It has, you know, cute parts and some not so cute parts. We're like, oh my god, really? But it's interesting. I liked it. Alright, I have to scroll. Sorry. My German stuff is covered up. Oh, and I just clicked everything away. Sorry. Alright, facts about Germany. It's a small fact again. I'm running out of ideas. But as far as I know, most cities, like big cities in Germany, have a specialty drink. Most of them are beer. Like certain beers you can only get in that region. Let's say region. My city, which is a ginormous city, Frankfurt, if you don't know, we have a wine. Everybody has beer. Good old Frankfurt, with the Frankfurters, we have wine. It's called apple wine, and as funny as it is, it's pronounced Apfelwein. Apfelwein. Well, if you're a true hard Frankfurter, you would say apple wine, which sounds like apple wine. It cracks me up. It's German. Apple wine. That's German. That's the Frankfurter dialect right there. I don't remember how it tastes like. I've been in the States for 8 years next month. In 3 weeks, I've been here for 8 years. I have not been back to Germany, and really no desire. I love Germany, love the country, not so much the people, especially my people, like my family people. So I wouldn't want to go back there because there's a reason why I left them behind. So it's not that I don't like German people. Oh my god, no. I don't like my family. So that's why I haven't been back, because I don't know how I would explain. Yeah, I was in Germany. No, I didn't say hi to any of y'all. So, back to, yeah, I don't remember how apple wine, almost said apple wine, tastes like. Don't think I liked it. But then again, I was 18. Who at 18 has a taste for wine? So maybe now I'd be like, ooh, this is really good. But I don't think I liked it then. It comes with really cool bottles. Well, some of the fancy ones come in. You can get like souvenir bottles, I think that's what they are. But the phrase of this week is, last week it was saying what your name is. I should have started with what is your name instead of the answer to the question. I should have, you know, we're a little backwards here. Germans do speak backwards. In a sense. I know, and this is rambly episode, so I might as well keep rambling, right? In German, if you literally translate something, it's backwards. Like, okay, this phrase is a really bad example because it's actually straightforward. But sometimes there are certain phrases like, I was when I learned speaking English, I would speak backwards to Americans, like the sentence preposition, like the way my sentence was formed. It made no sense to Americans because it was pretty much backwards. And I remember asking my stepdad, I was like, so when do I know that I am fluent in English? When do you know that you're fluent? And he's like, when you don't have to think about it. When you start thinking in English, it's the big indication. That's you fluent. If you don't have to translate in your head. He was right. Once I didn't have to think about it, like if somebody asked me something, I would sit there for a second and translate the question or what they said to me in my head and then translate what I wanted to say. Once I stopped doing that, I felt like I was pretty good. And then all of a sudden I caught myself counting in English in my head or thinking something in English in my head, and that's what I knew. I'm fluent. Now I dream, speak, whatever in English. But back to the phrase of the week. It's Was ist dein Name? What is your name? Was ist dein Name? Pretty. It's what is your name? Alright. I feel like I've talked forever. I'm so sorry this is longer than usual. Sorry it was really rambly. But that's what you're here for, right? You're here to hear me talk, right? And see my pretty knitted things that I rambled about. I just need to go. I'm just gonna keep on talking. Alrighty. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye!